With sugar and spice and a roll of the dice, you're listening to The Dice Girls.
I believe there's one contestant left.
Mm-hmm.
Ruby something?
Yes.
Ruby Top?
Ruby Top, yes. She is a slow motion walker.
That's right. That's right.
I didn't catch that the first time. That's funny. Should we go talk to her then?
I believe so. Before we start, if she checks out, then we can go see about Timo's mother.
Yes.
Awesome. The three of you kind of find your way to the last dressing room that you haven't been in yet. It has a star on the door just like everybody else's. This one also has a paper kind of sign out that says Ruby Top, the slow motion walker on it. And her door is shut.
Pound, pound, pound.
Yeah, I just look at Thorn at this point and like wait for him to do it.
I would like all three of you to roll me. Hang on, let me look. Roll me an intellectual check.
And I got a 5.
I got a 17 plus 1.
Same here. 17 plus 1.
Dang!
Whoa!
Holy cow! Good job, dudes. So Percy and Lucy. Is it Lucy or Lacey? Sorry. Lacey, that's what I thought. Okay, I remembered that the Cowley had called you Lucy, and I was like, wait, he did that on purpose, right? Yes. Okay. Cowley mixed me up. Lacey and Percy, you two both hear this. Thorn, you hear nothing. The two of you hear some like muffled sounds coming from the other side of the door. It sounds like a little bit of a struggle.
Ooh.
Like kind of maybe some thrashing.
Thorn, kick down that door.
How about I try the handle first to see if it's locked?
Yeah, that would be more dramatic.
So I try the handle first.
It is locked.
He tries to kick it down.
All right, will you roll me a physical?
Yep. 14 plus 1, 15.
Okay, you successfully kick down this door. The door bursts open and you see she's like kind of a slinky 6 foot tall salamander woman. She has like shiny lavender colored skin with orange spots. She's wearing like a very slinky sparkly red dress and high heels. You can see that she's got like heavy makeup and long lashes. And she is thrashing around on the floor, choking. Her
Who knows the Heimlich?
Her face and throat look very swollen, as if she's having some sort of allergic reaction to something.
Does anybody have an EpiPen? Does anybody know doctor stuff? Somebody help her. Help, we have a choking salamander.
Thorn, if you would like to like peek around the room to see if you can find an EpiPen, you can roll an intellectual.
Okay, yeah.
I think that would be an intellectual, right?
That's a 5.
Oh, you definitely find no such thing there. But you are shouting, is that?
Okay.
Well, if he yelled about an EpiPen, then I think that would encourage Percy to look for one.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead, roll.
I'm too small to help her. And he looks around and he rolls a nat 1.
Oh no! Percy, I'm very sorry,
no.
but you need to subtract your intellectual point. Percy looked around so badly that he got a little dumber.
He doesn't do well in high stress situations.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well Lacey's gonna try her hand at the EpiPen.
Yep.
I don't know, man.
Ooh.
17 plus 1 again.
17 plus 1.
Wow.
In the first drawer you open in the desk that's in there, you see her EpiPen. We're gonna say that since you did have such a nice role in finding it, we'll bundle that over to using it. You are able to successfully use her EpiPen on her, and immediately you can see the swelling start to go down. She's still, tears running down her face. She can't really speak because her throat was so swollen and so tender now. But at Thorne's shouting, also while all this is happening, a PA has rushed in to the dressing room, and you see him like reach for his radio and immediately call for the on-site medic. And he kind of ignores the three of you and in order to give immediate attention to Ruby. And they get her kind of carted out of there pretty fast, and then the PA kind of says, "What happened?" Then he turns to you and is kind of like, "What happened? What happened here?"
We heard her struggling. We came to introduce ourselves to her, because we're new around here, and we could hear her struggling through the door, and luckily Thorne was able to kick the door down so we could find her EpiPen and help her.
What is she even allergic to? I don't understand. What?
We never met the woman before. I couldn't tell you what she's allergic to. We came here to introduce ourselves to her.
Okay, well, listen, I'm keeping my eye on the three of you, but I got too much going on to interrogate you right now. Let's all just, we'll be talking to Miss Ruby once she is feeling herself again in the hospital. So hopefully she doesn't have anything to say about the three of you. I gotta go. And he kind of rushes out the door and leaves the three of you standing there.
Well, now I'm suspicious of that guy. He got here literally 15 minutes ago.
Do you think she did it to herself to throw suspicion off of her? Let's search her closet.
Is there
That's a good idea.
maybe a plate somewhere of food that she was eating?
Oh, yeah.
I will let the three of you,
in her closet.
I will let you guys each roll another intellect check to search her room. Or it could be, I'll let you pick intellect or emotional. I don't know that you don't quite have a bond with her yet, but also you'd have to have some emotional intelligence here to know where to search for someone's secrets.
I rolled a 5.
I got 15.
Do you get to add anything?
No.
Emotional or intellect?
No.
Okay, can you take your dice out?
Oh.
Not 20!
Wow.
Yeah! All right, Alexa, add a point to your intellect skill. Or whichever one you were rolling with. If you had thought you were rolling emotional, add it to emotional or intellect.
I would say intellect.
Nice. Lacey, as you start searching around the room, you actually don't have to look very far. In fact, on her desk, no, it's not on her desk, sorry. It's on her nightstand next to her bed. She sleeps in there, it looks like. There is a plate with a piece of pie that has one bite taken out of it.
Oh, it's the blob. She poisoned her. I knew it.
Well, we don't know who put the poison in there. But that is a logical assumption.
Well,
so I feel that I should take a bite of it to see if that.
Please do not.
I fully disagree with that. We don't have any more EpiPens. And if you go into anaphylaxis, there's nothing we could do.
Right.
maybe we should smell the pie first?
Should do what?
Or smell the pie, or see if we can see any. I don't know what crumbleberry pie is supposed to look like.
That's fair.
But we know what it's supposed to smell like.
We do know what it's supposed to smell like. You are correct, because of the candle.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct.
So I take a big old sniff of the pie to see if it smells poisoned.
It smells very, very similar to the candle. You do kind of catch... It's a smell that you recognize, but you can't quite pinpoint. Like, you can't identify what it is. But it's like some kind of like chocolatey type smell that like is not customarily served with crumbleberry pie. And there's like some shavings. You can see some chocolate shavings on like on top of it.
Oh, let's have the cat try it.
Probably not.
Poor Percy.
Chocolate is not good for cats.
Okay.
No one should be tasting it.
I think we need to bag it up and send it to the lab.
I think we should take it with us, but I think we should go to the kitchen to see if there's any remnants of this mysterious chocolate substance.
Okay.
That sounds like
That's
a plan.
Fair. Okay.
Mm-hmm. The kitchen is relatively easy.
I pick up the pie. Yeah. I pick up the pie and I stand far away from Thorn, just to make sure that he doesn't give in to temptation.
And the code is 24562345. Is that accurate?
One of those two.
That was totally on purpose. So yeah, the kitchen is relatively easy to find. There is a door and it's got like a padlock on it with one of the number spinners, kind of, so you can like it's a 4-digit code.
Oh, so we enter in the code then? We 2456.
Which one do you
We'll
use?
start with 2456. That was the first one she said.
It works. Yeah, you're able to open the door with her code. And it looks just like a kind of standard small kitchenette. There's a refrigerator that is in there, some cabinets, and like a little island in the middle that also has some drawers and cabinets on it.
Should we check the fridge for the pie?
Rummage?
Yes.
All right. Let's do another intellect check.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
16 plus 2.
Wow.
I have a question.
Nat 20.
Oh no! I know what your question is.
The War Dolls tray is like, it's a little miracle.
It's magic.
It's magical.
I've never rolled this well in my life.
I have a question.
What did you get, Kim?
I got a nat 20.
Oh! Okay, go.
Yeah, my second one of the day. Lexa's gotten one. Yeah.
Go up an intellect point, and Ashley, please, let's hear your question.
Do our pie's attributes go negative? I just rolled another one.
Oh my god. I hadn't actually thought about that yet. I'm gonna say yes, it can, but there's a cap. It's like -3 would be the cap. Like, it would not go below -3.
Okay. Well, I'm having a rough day.
Oh my god. Percy, like, even though you're here because you won a chili cook-off, you're like, what is this room? What is this strange place?
It's ever since we talked to that Cowley, I'm not functioning right anymore. He offended me.
Yeah.
I'm not on my game.
Oh man, that is so good. So Lacey, you find all the standard ingredients you would expect to find for a pie. There's like ingredients for crust, there's like the flour, and there's butter, and there's pie tins, there's fresh crumble berries, like organic, and so
Right.
you find all of the ingredients that you would expect to find for a pie. And Thorn, while you are kind of searching in the island in the middle, it almost looks like there are like some snacks there that are kind of provided sometimes for contestants. I don't know if other people maybe would have noticed this right away, but there's like a stack of boxes of Milk Duds, and there's stacks of other boxes of theater candy next to them, and like the Milk Dud stack is one shorter. And so like someone has taken a box of Milk Duds out of the kitchen, but that's kind of like the only out of place thing that you notice.
Missing Milk Duds. There's one box left, one box less. So someone must have taken the Milk Duds and shaved off pieces of the chocolate and fed it to Ruby because they knew she's allergic to chocolate.
With such a strong, because you also did have a really strong intellect check, Lacey, once you hear Thorn mention Milk Duds, that's when this chocolate smell that you smelled on the pie earlier registers with you. It was, in fact, someone had, like, I don't know, sliced up a Milk Dud, basically, and made it look like chocolate shavings and put it on the pie.
Should we go ask Nana if she uses Milk Duds in her pie?
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
if she does, then maybe it could be her, and it could not be her at the same time.
Is the rest of the pie
yeah.
here?
No.
Oh, yeah, is the rest of the
That's
pie
a really great question. No, there's no
Okay.
pie there. It doesn't appear as if a pie has been made in this kitchen today, as a matter of fact.
But this pie, the pie that I have, it looks like fresh? It doesn't look like it's like a day or two old. Is it cold? Is it warm?
It is like room temperature.
Okay.
I don't know like how much of a difference there would be in like pie that's a day old versus pie that's 3 days old,
Right.
that you would be able to maybe detect, but I will tell you
It's not immediately
It's
fresh.
not immediately fresh, correct.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, also we could take this piece to Nana and see if she sees anything weird about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I personally don't think she's all that suspicious, but you never know with those old ladies.
Right.
Yes, she could be hiding something sinister under that southern charm.
Right.
Or under that bandana. or under that blindfold.
Yeah. But maybe it wouldn't hurt to ask to show her the pie.
Mm-hmm.
Because if she has a weird reaction to it, then that would also give us a clue.
Right.
So, does this sound like a good idea to bring her the piece? Okay.
Yes.
Sounds like a plan. Okay, so the three of you return to Nana's dressing room. And we're gonna just say you knock and she says, "Come in." And you open the door and she's still at her kind of she's at her station practicing, and she kind of looks up. She still has the blindfold on. She looks up as the three of you walk in, and well, 2 visits in 1 day. I do declare, what did I do to deserve such an honor from y'all?
Well, we're actually here on a difficult reason. Ruby Top just had a very severe allergic reaction to this piece of pie that she ate. And we were wondering if you notice anything weird about it, if it seems off to you, like it's been tampered with in some way, or if she might just be allergic to crumbleberries.
You see Nana looks very shocked. Her eyes get wide and her mouth drops open, and she like puts her hand in front of her mouth, and then she puts it to her heart and she says, I do declare, I can't believe this. I can't believe that anybody could be allergic to. I mean, I've talked to Ruby before, and as far as I know, she's not allergic to. Let me see that pie. What on earth? And she kind of looks at the pie. She like, I'm assuming you're kind of like holding it out for her, maybe.
Yeah.
And she kind of like leans in and squints her eyes, and she says, "Is this some kind of joke? Who?"
With the blindfold on?
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Just checking.
She gets real close. Who? Well, why on earth would somebody add chocolate? Why? Who? Everybody knows you don't pair crumble berries with chocolate. This pie's perfect the way it was. Who on earth did that? Did you do that to my pie?
Yeah, we know. Well, Thorn actually noticed that a package of Milk Duds had been taken from the kitchen, and it seems like that's what's sprinkled on top of it.
Milk Duds? That's the only thing Miss Ruby's allergic to. She ain't allergic to nothing else but Milk Duds. Now.
So while y'all are talking, Thorn is looking around to see if he sees a trash can that he can go through.
Love it. Roll me. We'll make this one an emotional because you have bonded, I think, a little bit with Nana. You are a little like
Okay.
You know her a little better to maybe.
That would be a 3.
It was almost a 17.
Oh. Nope, you sure don't even see a trash can in her room. But she is sure fretting over the addition of chocolate to her precious pie.
And are you the one who made this pie? When was it baked?
Oh, well, that's a great question. No, it sure wasn't today. Here, let me see that. Let me see that pie. And she reaches out for it.
I give it to her.
She pulls open a drawer from the island, like kind of little kitchenette area she's working on, the little counter, and she gets like a knife out and she like scrapes it over the top of the pie. And
What does that sound like again?
Yeah.
It's great. It's great. It's great. It's great.
She says, "Well, now this pie, it's certainly not from today, but it can't be older than two days old. It's, you know, I did make a pie yesterday for practice. It wasn't one of my, it wasn't one of the performing days for the judges. I was making a pie yesterday, and I shared it with everybody. And then, gosh, there was some left over, but not a lot. And I think, there certainly wasn't no chocolate on it. And I think Timbo took the last piece."
Oh, okay. So there's no leftovers.
No, I didn't have no leftovers myself, but I mean, I certainly don't know what people do with the pie after they take it. I'm happy to have it to share, and God, do people know that it was my pie that made Ruby get sick? Are people talking? Oh my God, what are they saying about my pie?
Nobody's figured it out because not even the medical staff checked for pies. So.
You didn't happen to see Timbo's mom take a slice, did you?
Oh.
Well, no, I sure didn't see her around yesterday, but I mean, I don't know. She's kind of pretty focused on this whole thing, I think a little more than Timbo is even, but that's neither here nor there. I can't imagine who would do this to Ruby and to my pie. Who adds chocolate to a crumbleberry pie? Now, honestly.
A murderer. We need to go check Timbo's mom's trash can.
Yeah, we're gonna work on getting to the bottom of this, Nana. Don't worry, we'll get your name cleared.
Can you do me a favor and maybe not mention to people that it was my pie that made Ruby have an allergic reaction? I mean, we all know she's allergic to Milk Duds. At least I think we do. It was in our information packet at the beginning of the year. We all get one. Everybody gets, especially
Right.
the cookers. Those who... Oh, well, you guys just got here. I'm sure it's... have y'all been to your dressing rooms yet? Maybe, I'm sure it's in there with your welcome basket.
There's a welcome basket?
Well, I reckon there should be.
That's...
to welcome y'all to the show and everything.
Yeah, we wanted to introduce ourselves to everyone before we got settled and got swept up into this Milk Dud whirlwind, I'm telling you.
Man, if I had a quarter for every time I got swept up in a Milk Dud whirlwind, I get it. That's all right, honey. Well, if you could just maybe leave the pie a little bit out of it, I'd sure hate to sully my grandma's good name and her good recipe. Oh, I'm so sorry this happened. I can't believe my pie was used as a weapon. That's not what pie's for. The nerve.
We'll do our best to use discretion.
I kindly appreciate it, Mr. Percy.
Percy just looks like he's a little bit like... he liked being called Mr. Percy, I think.
Oh! That's precious.
All right. Team, shall we go speak with our last suspect?
Yes.
Yep.
Let's go find Timbo and his mom.
All right. Yes. So Timbo is not in his dressing room because you remember at the end of your interaction you had kind of seen him go out with his mom to practice. So you guys kind of ask around a little bit and you make your way to one of the practice arenas because they've got several for different talents. And like you do. And sure enough, it's kind of like a gymnasium type area. You can see Timbo in the gymnasium area, and he's kind of like flying through the air, almost like it almost looks like he's surfing the airwaves that you're not sure how they could be in this gym, but he's also like got his legs bent up around over his head, and he's like his wings are all contorted and in funky little positions, and off to the side you can see, I'm still talking a little bit like Nana. Off to the side off to the side you can see Timbo's mom, and she's kind of like, okay, now step 4, step 5, no, you've got the timing wrong on that one. We're gonna have to do it again. Come on, Timbo, focus. And she's kind of like yelling at him a little bit.
No one wants to broach this.
It's like, how do we play this?
Does she have a trash can with her by any chance? I want to look for a Milk Dud box.
Oh, we should have gone back to Timbo's room to check for the Milk Dud box. Oh, anyway. Okay. Excuse us, ma'am.
You are interrupting our practice. What do you need?
Yes, I apologize for interrupting. It's just we have a very serious matter on our hands. It seems that there's been some suspicious activity lately around the competition. Would you happen to know anything or have seen any sort of strange activity around?
almost before the end of the question is out of your mouth, she like turns and goes, "Timbo, take 5!" And he like, "You got it, Mom." And he kind of like he glides down and lands gracefully. And you see him like, he's kind of wiping the sweat off of his feathers. I don't know if birds sweat, but Timbo does. He's wiping the sweat off of his forehead. And you see him kind of head towards the doors of the gym. He heads to the ones that lead outside, and you hear him he looks kind of excited to get outside and get on the breeze. And Lydia is Timbo's mom's name, by the way. I remember if you know that or not. She looks down at you, Percy, and she kind of like scowls a little bit, and she says, "Listen, I know you're not accusing my baby boy of cheating in this contest, because he might not be the brightest kid that you've ever met, but he is an amazing contortionist, and he would never do such a thing. How dare you?"
Ma'am, I only asked if you had seen anything recently.
All I have seen is my baby boy practicing his heart out to be the best contortionist that he could possibly be.
Yeah, ma'am, we weren't accusing him, we were accusing you.
She like, in. Right? Yeah, cut to the chase.
Why not?
Love it. She kind of like puffs her chest out, her bird chest out a little bit, because she's a bird. Well, what proof do you have of these accusations that you're alleging against me? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Concrete. Okay, let me finish my sentence, ma'am. Lydia. Nothing concrete, but so far you are the only one who doesn't have an alibi.
An alibi for when? I told you I've been practicing with Timbo for hours every day. Anyone in this building will tell you that same exact thing. We are here morning, noon, and night.
It seems to me that that's a very strict regimen that you have Timbo on. I'd imagine that he must have a very specific diet to keep up with such an athletic talent and skill. What kind of diet do you have him on?
Well, Lord knows I've tried everything in the book to get this kid to not eat junk food, but, you know, sometimes as a parent you gotta pick your battles, okay? And if this kid wants to eat nothing but sweets and pie and chocolate all day, who am I to say no? He does a good job contorting, and if his food ever got in the way of that, then we'd have a chat. But man, I can't be fighting with this kid every day about food. We already fight enough about contorting.
Did the two of you partake in any crumbleberry pie that was served from yesterday?
Well, yes, Timbo, he brought me a slice himself. He sure did. He said it was fresh baked from Nana, and Lord knows I don't need any pie, but every once in a while, you know, it's all right to cheat a little.
So you ate your slice of pie?
I did, and it was delicious.
And did you permit Timbo to eat his?
I'm sure he had a slice as well, before he even brought me my pie, I would imagine. You look so
That's about as Oh, well, that's about as far ahead as I had thought, so I'm out of
Yeah.
I'm out of accusations here to be making.
You did Timbo have any milk duds yesterday or today? Did you see him with any?
When you mention milk duds, like, I can't say the color drains from her face because she's a bird and it's covered in feathers, but the specific mention of milk duds, it kind of like she like startles just a little bit. Well, I don't know. I don't know what he eats in a day. He's a bottomless pit, this kid. I'm sure he had milk duds and Raisinets and Junior Mints and whatever else candy they have stocked in that kitchen island.
Did you have any milk duds yesterday? Or today?
I don't even like milk duds. So no.
How did you know that they're in the kitchen island?
She
Thorn coming out of left field.
Right? Good
With
job,
a
Thorn.
banger. Yeah.
When you say that, Lydia takes a step back and like spreads her wings to make herself look bigger.
Oh no.
And she says, "Listen, I don't like the three of you. I don't appreciate you interfering in me and my baby boy's quest for glory, all right? Now, I know that this kid is going to be famous someday. I know it. But he just doesn't practice hard enough, and he's not doing a good enough job. By himself, he need a little extra help. There ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't appreciate your accusations, but I'm do whatever it takes to get my baby boy to the first place in this competition. If you have a problem with that, you're going to have to come through me." And I think we're going to take this opportunity to roll for initiative.
Ooh. She's throwing hands. Throwing wings.
Ooh. I got a 16.
I got an 8.
I
Should have waited for the
Yeah.
dice
Do you
box
want to
be...
go ahead and...
Nah.
12.
Okay.
I'll stick with my 8.
Okay, so I think I spoke on this briefly before we started recording, but just for listeners, a little bit of battle mechanics. I tried to keep it really simple. Everyone's hits automatically hit. The only roll that we do is to see how much damage your hit does. If you roll a 1, it's 0 damage. If you roll a 2 to 15, it's 1 damage. It's a little different than our other dice chart, and I can give this one to you guys too. 16, and I might adjust it, I don't know. 16 to 19 is 2 damage, and then if you roll a 20, you do 3 damage. Each of you has 10 hit points.
Okay.
And you don't know how many hit points Lacey has. Or Lydia, not Lacey. You're Lacey. So when she kind of says, "You're gonna have to go through me first," and like spreads her wings, and it's time for battle. And Thorn, you have rolled the highest, so you get to go first.
Okay, so I stand up tall and then I stretch my arm out, and all of a sudden, hurtling through space comes a golden shovel that just clangs into my hand. It is Mingrafa. It has been forged in the heart of a lonely middle-aged woman.
A shovel?
I love it.
Middle-aged woman? Yeah.
I love it so much. Oh my gosh.
So as soon as the shovel hits his hand, he just throws it as hard as he can at her, and it flips in the air until it hits her.
Dang.
Oh, and then I have to roll.
Yes, okay, yep. So you hit her with a shovel. What was that?
Okay.
0 damage.
Oh, yeah.
I rolled a 1.
Oh.
Does that count for massive damage? Like the most massive damage you can do?
Totally. No, the shovel kind of like she does this little like last minute hop as you throw the shovel, and it does like it kind of she trips a little bit, but it doesn't actually do any damage to her. So like you did hit her with it. It grazed her. And no damage.
Okay.
And now it's Percy's turn.
Okay. Percy is going to cast sort of a magic missile spell. So he's going to put away his notepad and his pen. He's gonna and I did not think about what this is gonna look like. He waves his paws in the air, sort of in a circular motion, and it summons these 3 little blue, like needle-like missiles that he shoots towards her, and you can see he kind of moves his paws around to sort of like manipulate the trajectory that they go in, and so he throws them at her, and he spreads his little fingers out, and when he does that, they all pop in her face. Like little fireworks.
Dang.
Oh, that's fun.
I love that. Go ahead and roll for damage.
4.
Oh, you still did 1 damage to her.
Yes.
So they pop off in her face,
Nice.
and you hear her kind of like squawk as one of them gets her. And she says, "How dare you!" And it's actually her turn to attack next. And she swoops kind of down towards, I almost said Rachna. She swoops down towards Percy, and attempts to like peck at him as she swoops by. And she does. Oh, let's see. She also does 1 damage to Percy as she kind of pecks you as she flies by.
Ooh, he like tries to swat at her and like hisses.
Nice. All right, and now it's Lacey's turn.
Lacey pulls out her fencing sword, but she takes the rubber tip off.
Dang,
So
serious.
it's an actual sword.
Go from stun to kill.
And then she does like the little like lunge forward and
Jab.
juts out her sword.
Nice.
Yes. I don't know that. I'm sure there's a technical term for it.
I don't know if it's
but
jab.
I do not know enough about fencing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
A foil, maybe?
That's a 9.
A 9, that does 1 damage to Lacey. Or not Lacey. Gosh darn it. You don't damage yourself. I should have not given her an L name. All right. So she again kind of squawks as you get her with your fencing sword. And we are back up at the top of the order. It's Thorn's turn again.
So once he releases the shovel and it hits its target or misses, it loops around and comes back to his hand. And so with his shovel this time, he's going to cast, "You need to tell me your most embarrassing moment." And so he throws it at her.
Oh my god. Is this
So when you throw the shovel and you have that activated, wherever it lands, the person has to tell their most embarrassing moment.
Is there like an activation phrase that he has to say for that?
Yeah, as he throws it, he's like, he says that's so embarrassing.
Just preempts it.
So she's kind of glaring as she's like kind of flying in the air. The shovel hits her square in the chest. And as she's flying, she blurts out, One day when I was learning how to fly, I totally fell out of my nest and fell face first right out of the tree on the ground in front of all my friends, including the boy I had a crush on. It was the worst day of my life. And then she covers her face with her wings so quickly that she kind of falls out of the air, and roll to see how much damage she takes.
Nice. Woo!
Is it physical damage or emotional?
Oh, wait. Oh,
Keep it.
it's a 19.
Nice. That's 2 damage. It's both. One of the damage is physical and one is mental. But they still both count.
Nice.
Psychic damage.
Yeah, psychic damage for sure. Okay, that was a great hit. Percy, it is your turn.
All right. Is she like down on the ground now?
Yes, she has kind of fallen to the ground. Excuse me. She has fallen to the ground and kind of rolled a couple times and is getting back up. She looks a little beat up.
Okay. Before Percy attacks, he yells out, "Have you had enough?"
She kind of like pushes herself up with her wing off the floor and turns and glares at you and says, "I will not stop until my baby boy is the winner of this competition."
I was afraid you'd say that. Well, ma'am, your goose is cooked. And Percy casts a fireball.
Oh my god. I'm awarding you a bonus point of damage for that. Beautiful trash talk. What does fireball look like?
What does it look like? He does kind of a swooping his hands are out to, or his paws are out to his sides, and he does kind of a swooping motion, almost like he's drawing a W in the air. His hands come together in the air, and when they do, the fireball forms above his paws, and then he kind of just like shoves it towards her to cast it and send it away, and he rolls a 12.
Nice.
So-
With that bonus point, that's 2 points of damage.
Yay.
Heck
Nice.
yeah.
Yes. The fireball hits it hits Lydia on, I want to say, the tips of one of her wings, and you can like see it get singed. And she also looks heavily insulted. And it's actually her turn. This time she's gonna swoop at Thorn because, man, that embarrassing moment cut deep. She kind of like, since her wing is singed, she's not really flying too much anymore. So she kind of like runs over to you real fast and like pecks at you. And
Okay.
she does 2 damage to you, Thorn.
Okay.
She pecks you good. She says, "How dare you make me relive my embarrassing moments." And now it is Lacey's turn.
Lacey is gonna do a fancy flourish and then go for another jab.
Nice.
She's not breaking out her gymnastics just yet. She's saving that for the show.
Nice.
That's a 4.
That's okay. You still do 1 damage. You kind of get her a little bit in between, like, where her wing meets her body. And so it doesn't, like, I mean, it still absolutely connects, but it's almost like the skin instead of, like, a deeper kind of jab. But
Right.
She's looking a little rough, guys. And Thorn, it is back to your turn.
So he takes the shovel and he whispers into the blade of it, "Throw my voice." And as he throws it, he has it. Okay. So as he throws it, he casts throw my voice, but his voice is the sound of who's the tubular guy? The sun.
Oh,
Timbo.
Timbo.
It's the voice of Tim. Yeah, the voice of Timbo saying, "Mom, you're hurting me. Please stop."
Whoa!
Dang.
Talk about psychic damage.
Yeah.
Holy
Psychological, dude.
Thorn's just going
Oh
for
my
the jugular.
Thorn is going for the jugular.
Dang.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a +1 for your damage for that. Definitely a bonus.
Oh, cool.
Definitely bonus worthy. And then go ahead and roll your damage. And we'll see how she reacts.
Okay. Is that 6?
Yeah.
6.
Okay, so you did 2 damage to her.
Nice.
When she hears Timbo's voice, kind of like it's coming out of your axe as the axe kind of hits her, but she like looks around almost as if she doesn't like clearly the axe has done some, or the shovel, sorry, I kept saying axe. The shovel clearly has done some damage to her. But she's like, Timbo, you're not hurt, are you? You're not hurt. You can still do your contortioning. And then she almost like hears what she has just said and like looks a little confused for a second, as if she's like really thinking about her life decisions. And then she shakes it off and squares up against you guys, just beat up. She's looking rough. And it's Percy's turn.
Well, miss, I'll ask again. Have you had enough?
Never, she says. With singed feathers and...
Quippy line, You're about to be history. And he casts another magic missile spell where he throws the fireworks at her and pops them in her face again.
Nice. Roll me that damage.
Oh, I thought it was a 1, but it's a 7.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
I don't need to give you the bonus point for that one, because with a 7, you do 1 final point of damage to Lydia. And she passes out from these fireworks in her face. She's unconscious. And the fight is over, and you have won. Dun dun dun!
Yay!
Okay, we need to get security in here.
That's fair. Do you? Go ahead.
Yeah, security! Zeke, we caught her! We found it! We found out who was doing it!
2 security guards rush into the gymnasium, and they have heard your shouting, and Lydia, she is unconscious, but she's kind of mumbling about make sure he's still practicing and blah, 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 she's just, but she kind of is talking in her unconscious state a little bit of, I did it for Timbo. I did it so we could win. And the security guards hear that and they're like, well, that's all we need. And they basically they kind of lift her up. They